Happy Monday, everybody. All right, we've got a 9-game slate today, so not the 5 that we had last week, thank God. We're just going to jump right in. Recap was okay. We went 10 and 5 on the games we picked, which was great. Very, very small profit. Hit the fun parlay, which was cool, but up just like zero point 0.4 units, so nothing big to speak of. But hey, it was a slightly winning Sunday. We'll take it. All right, first game on the card. Mets at the Cardinals. Sean Manaea going up against Andre Palante. Manaea, 4.91 ERA versus St. Louis. It hasn't had the greatest of success. We look at what these pitchers struggle with for Manaea. It's left-handed hitting, 263 average to lefties, 172 to righties. Same with Palante, a little weaker against the lefties. Both teams are projected to have 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup, so doesn't really favor either of them. We just saw the Mets lose yesterday against the Angels. Good God, man, they had so many runners left on base. It was ridiculous. I thought for sure they were going to win it. That was painful. Very, very painful, to be honest. I do like the Durfee in this spot at minus 125, but if I had to pick a team, I would go with the Cardinals. They're just simply hitting a little bit better, in my opinion, especially with runners in scoring position. We haven't seen Martinez or Alonso do anything. I just feel like this offense is driven by Lindor, and Lindor. So I'll take the Cards here, coming off a loss against the Cubbies last night. But if we look at the runners in scoring position, Mets 246 over the last 7 days. Cardinals hitting 280. So a little bit of who's going to get those clutch hits with runners in scoring position. Pitch splits worry me a little bit with Palante throwing 72% fastballs over the last 30 days. Mets are third best in the league, but I'm just not seeing the offense come back from them. But streaky team, so they could definitely turn it around. Neither team tearing it up over the last 10. Mets are 5 and 5. Cardinals are 4 and 6. Cardinals do have a winning home record, but Mets have a winning away record. So this is really a bit of a coin flippy game in my opinion. So really just taking the team at plus money here. So I could see this going either way though. You could look at the over. I think that's definitely a possibility with the wind blowing out. But I will tell you, St. Louis is a pitcher friendly ballpark. So something to keep in mind there. All right, next game we've got D-backs and the Guardians. Guardians coming off a little beat down by the Orioles, which we were on that spot. That was beautiful. Had the first 5, had the full game, had -1, so was all over that one. Logan Allen has not made a start in a hot minute because he's terrible, but he is in the game today going up against the Diamondbacks ace in Zach Gallen. Gallen definitely worse away than he is at home. He's got a 3.56 ERA, expected ERA of 4.12. Allen, like I said, just really, really bad. We look at the pitch splits, it's just not good. D-backs coming off a impressive comeback win yesterday. They had no runs through Skeen's outing, and then they ended up coming back against that really bad Pittsburgh bullpen. I like them today. I like them to do a ton of damage. I've always said this. I love lefties against the Diamondbacks, so Logan Allen should serve it up real nice today. That said, I think Cleveland gets to Gallen. So I think Cleveland, they've been hitting really well, especially runners in scoring position. They have been on absolute tear. They are still number 1 over the past week, hitting 400 with runners in scoring position, 280 over the last 14 days, and they're 11th over the last 30. So we've got a sustained period here of Cleveland getting it done with the sticks, but Arizona has just been really hot with the bats. So I love them to just trounce Logan Allen. The over 8.5 is my favorite bet of the day, hands down. I think both teams score a lot of runs. I know the wind is blowing in. They're talking about a little bit of rain potentially. I don't think it matters. You got 2 teams that are just hitting really well. So I love the over. Definitely my favorite bet of the day here. Going with Diamondbacks. I like the first 5 more so than the full game. Cleveland's bullpen is just extremely solid, and the Diamondbacks bullpen is very vulnerable. So I'd rather isolate it to first 5 here. All right, next game, Marlins at the Reds. The freaking Braves. Holy crap, they got routed yesterday. That was just unreal. I mean, so many bets had to be ruined off the Braves. Just who the hell would have thought they'd have got blanked 6-0. So Miami at home. going up against the Redlegs. Reds coming off a really bad loss yesterday, which we were on the Reds, so that sucks. They lost 8-2. Nick Martinez, essentially a bullpen game for the Reds. So Martinez is probably going to go, maybe 3 innings ish, somewhere around there. Going up against Roddery Munoz. Munoz real bad. Real bad. 5.45 ERA, 6.13 expected. Just has not pitched very well. That said, the Marlins bullpen has been outstanding. First and second, if we talk about ERA and FIP, so they have been getting the job done. Martinez surprisingly has been pitching really well. I don't know how. I don't like this guy, but he's been effective. If we look at his hard hit percentage, 28.3%, some of the best in baseball there. Ex-velo well below the league average of about 88. Munoz, on the other hand, gives up a lot of hard contact. I think the Reds take advantage of that. I like them in this spot. I don't really. It's hard to back the Marlins. That said, they've been getting the job done. So if the Marlins were probably like plus 140, I would probably be on them. Plus 120 with Munoz on the hill, I just can't do it. So give me the Reds. Lean towards the over in this game. I could see some runs being scored for sure. All right, next game, Giants at Nats. I'm torn on this one. I'm going Giants here, but the only way you can really play the Giants for value is if you take the run line. I've gone back and forth on this one. We know Corbin's terrible, absolutely terrible. He got shelled his last outing against the Diamondbacks. That said, I still don't trust the Giants' bats. I have zero faith that the Giants can score runs, even though they scored 8 yesterday. That's just kind of a blip on the radar. Logan Webb away is not good. 4.3 away ERA. That said, Corbin's got a 5 ERA at home. I love the Patrick Corbin strikeouts. I was on this last night and cost myself a lot of value, to be honest. So I tried to jump on it early because I thought the line would jump up to 5. It did not. Oh no. You know what? Never mind. I got it at plus 115 and it's now at minus 115. So got really good value on that. I like his strikeouts at 4.5. It's risky because it's Patrick Corbin, but if we look at left-handed starters versus the Giants, I mean, they have K'd a ton. They're averaging left-handed starters over the last 10 are averaging 7.6 Ks. And we're not talking about elite pitchers either. We're talking about very average left-handed pitchers. So I really like his K prop at 4.5. We saw in the Diamondbacks game, they just kind of left him out there to fester in the first game of that series. I think it's very similar today. They're coming off 2 wins in a row. This is not a playoff team, so I think they'll just let him stay out there and eat some innings because the bullpen is slightly taxed. So, but if we look at, Patrick Corbin versus the Giants, it ain't good. He's given up a 444 average to them and 8 home runs. So that said, Logan Webb's last outing versus the Nats was about a year ago. He went 1.1 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs. So was not good either way there. If we look at Webb's last 5 away starts, he's giving up runs, 16 earned runs in his last 5 away. I really want to go Nationals here. I initially had Nationals on the card. I just have zero faith in Patrick Corbin, but there is a ton of value taking the Nationals, especially coming off winning 2 in a row against the Brewers at home. Giants were at Cincinnati, had to travel to Washington. There's so many reasons to take the Nationals here. The pitch splits aren't phenomenal for Webb. I'm so torn on this game. I like the over 9. Ultimately, over 9 would be my favorite play here. Runs should be scored in abundance either way. All right, Astros, Rangers. This is a tough one. Hunter Brown, Andrew Heaney. We just saw the Astros get blanked by the Rays. Lost 2 in a row to a very shitty Rays team. Rangers lost in almost blowout fashion to the Red Sox. So the Red Sox ended up taking 2 of 3 from the Rangers. But the Rangers are at home. That said, 30-25 at home. Astros have a losing record. These 2 pitchers squared off July 12th, so not that long ago. Heaney, he had a really good outing. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. If Heaney can give up 2 earned runs, that's a real good outing for him. Brown also gave up 2 earned runs. If we look at the series this year, they play a lot against each other. 7 out of the last 10 games have gone over the line. This line actually, I want to say this line dropped to 8, which sucks because I got it last night at 8.5, so that means I lost value there. Yeah, it's at 8, and it's only minus 110. So I really love the over here. So pretty good there. I'm having some regret on getting 8.5 now. Anyway, yeah. So that game against Haney and Brown ended up being 6-3. So it would have hit that over. Like I said, really love the over in this spot. If I had to pick a winner, I guess I'd go Houston just because I don't trust Haney. Haney is just an absolute run scoring machine. That said, his pitch splits look a lot better than Hunter Brown's. So pick whichever side you want. Neither team's tearing the cover off the ball. Rangers are a little bit colder on the averages, but runners in scoring position, they did really well in this series against Boston, whereas Houston has not. 158, 254, and 250 over the last 30, 14, and 7 days. So, kind of a crappy game. I'm just leaning over. I think we just have an offensive explosion tonight. Twins and Cubs. This line's really surprising to me. The Twins only being minus 125 going up against Kyle Hendricks. Just kind of shows you the books don't have a lot of faith in Festa. Rightfully so. He's had 3 starts. His first 2 were not good. There were 4 or 5 earned runs in each game. Last outing though against the Mets, he was electric. He absolutely shut them down. He had like 7 or 8 Ks. So really good there. So I've got some faith in him there, and the Twins offense is just absolutely rolling. Heading into Wrigley, it is a 9-mile-an-hour wind, but we saw that a lot in the Cards-Cubs series here recently. It was a wind blowing in every day, and they still managed to put up a lot of runs. So I like the Twins. If you don't have a lot of faith in Festa, you could lean towards the over, but for me, it's a Twins game. They're just hitting really, really well right now. Over the last week, 333 with runners in scoring position, but so are the Cubs. But to me, Hendricks is just a god-awful pitcher, and I'm going to fade him at any chance I get. Festa has been super good against lefties, got a sub-1 average against them. Righties were giving him a little bit of issues, but he absolutely dominated them in the Mets game. So give me the Twins there. Really good value at minus 125. Next game, another hard one to handicap. Boston and KC. Boston sticks have been absolutely cooking over the last week, over the last 14 days. Brady Singer on the hill going up against James Paxton. This to me is just a full fade of Paxton. This guy is so bad. He's got a 5.51 away ERA. He's given up 20 earned runs in his last 5 starts, so he's averaging 4 earned runs a game. His earned run line is at 3.5. So very high. That said, Brady Singer is having a really phenomenal season, 2.88 ERA, expected ERA of 4.44, which is a little scary. He did face Boston in Boston on July 14th, and he got rocked. 2.2 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 Ks. But he's at home now. He does pitch a little bit better at home, and I think he'll have some success. I'm a little bit scared about the left-handed bats in the Boston lineup. He doesn't have a great track record against them, and he's going to face 6 lefties. The first 4 hitters for Boston are all left-handed, so cause for concern for sure. I think that's why we see that line at 10. But the fact that the over 10 is not favored with Paxton and Singer having some bad success against Boston just kind of leads me to pick the Royals here. I don't want to touch the over-under just because the pitch splits for Singer aren't good, right? We look at his fastball. Boston's number 1 over the last 30 days hitting fastballs off of righties. So there's a lot of things to be concerned here. I think there is definitely a path to Boston. I just don't like Paxton. I think if there's any other pitcher on the mound, literally anybody else, I take Boston here. And we saw KC scrape by Detroit. They had to come back several times to win those games. So offensively, a little sketchy. I think Boston has a significant offensive advantage right now. All right, next game, White Sox and Athletics. Is this the game? Is this the game the White Sox break the streak? Maybe. It could be. I'll tell you, I don't know who the starting pitcher is going to be. I've seen Jonathan Cannon. I've also seen Kai Bush. So the starting pitcher really determines a lot of things for me. If it's Kai Bush, he'll be making his major league debut. This guy's got like a 6.5 ERA in the minors. He's not good. He's like the 17th prospect for the White Sox. He's a lefty. If Kai Bush is starting, we go Athletics run line all day. If it's Cannon, that's hard. There's some value taking the White Sox at plus 150 with Cannon on the mound. He's had some really good games this year where he's been able to go pretty deep. That said, the pitch splits look really bad for him, so I'll go Athletics. But the only real way to get value out of that is to go run line, and I'm just not comfortable with Cannon there doing that. If we look at the Athletics, they were super hot, top 5 hitting team in baseball. They had significantly cooled down last 2 weeks, got a 195 average of runners in scoring position. Last 7 days, sub 100. And we saw the White Sox kind of start to kick it up. I thought they were going to win a couple over this last series, but couldn't get it done. But we are seeing them kind of trend a little bit with those runners in scoring position. But both teams are just struggling with the stick, so this is a bit of a shit show here. I like the Nerfy in this spot if Cannon's pitching. I think it's pretty good, and it's only at like minus 130. So. All right, last game on the card. Phillies at the Dodgers. This is going to be a really good game, I think. We've got Nola going up against Glasnow. Uh, Dodgers looked okay the last 2 games of that series, although they only won 3-2 yesterday. They ended up winning 10-0 the game before, but that was a little misleading. They were only up 4-0 against the A's heading into the 9th and ended up scoring 6. So looks a little bit better than it really was. Still kind of just struggling offensively. If you look over the past 7 days, Dodgers only hitting 186 against right-handed pitchers. Obviously, some of that, you got Mookie out. Freeman is supposed to come back at some point this week. We just don't know which day, right? And if he comes back tonight, maybe that kind of changes things a little bit, just because if we look at Nola's pitch splits, he is weaker against the lefties. But to me, obviously, you worry about Shohei, but you've got Gavin Lux. I mean, there's just not a lot of lefties that scare me in that lineup aside from Shohei. Left-handed, just you got what? Lux, you got Hayward, and you got Biggio. Definitely not worried about Biggio. That's pretty much an automatic out. In my mind, Nick Ahmed is an automatic out. Ahmed Rosario. So they're 7, 8, 9 hitters super weak for the Dodgers. We're starting to see the Phillies bats turn around. They started, really hitting. Harper had a much needed 3-for-4 game yesterday. Schwarber hit one out. So we're starting to see him roll a little bit. A little bit nervous about Glasnow splits. He does pitch really good against lefties, 188 average. That said, Nola's had a lot of success against these Dodgers. 24 for 110. They're hitting 218 off of him with 4 home runs. Glasnow has been very susceptible his last 4 starts. He is giving earned runs away. So he's given up about 3.5 earned runs a start. Yeah, I got to go Phillies in this spot. I like the way Nola's been pitching. He has been pitching really, really solid. Like I said, last 2 games, we saw the Phillies bats kind of start to come to life. Bullpen, I wouldn't even say the bullpen screwed them. I would say the umpire screwed them 2 games ago. They should have won. So I'm going Phillies here, plus money. I'm okay fading the Dodgers. I know they play pretty good away, but they just haven't blown me away. I think we start to see the Phillies kind of turn that trend around to trend. They're 2-8 over the last 10. Dodgers only 4-6, and they've faced some, okay competition. So that's where I'm at with that game. But either way, should be a really good game. Let's get into our best bets of the day. So I got Phillies money line at plus 114. Might not be a popular one. You could also go first 5 too. That bullpen is not been great. So there's definitely some concerns with the Phillies bullpen. So it might be, you could look at first 5. I would imagine first 5 is not as good. Let's look it up here. But plus 110. Not bad. Okay. You know what? I'm going to change this. I'm actually going to change this. Talking through that, I don't really like the full game. So we're going to go Phillies first 5. All right, next one, Arizona, Cleveland, over 8.5. Like I said, that's my favorite bet of the day. I can't see Arizona not getting to Logan Allen. And Gallen does get hit when he's away. So I like the Cleveland bats right now. I could see this being a really high-scoring game. I like Twins money line, minus 125, banking on them to beat the Cubs and Kyle Hendricks. Not exactly, powerhouses. So I like them in that spot. Next one I like Phillies first five over 1.5 runs. That's at minus 130. A little sketchy taking two Phillies bets, but I kind of look at this as insurance, right? Let's say the first five doesn't hit, but we hit over 2 runs or 2+ runs. It's close to being a wash there. And I think the Phillies get the glass now. I can't see him just completely shutting the door on them. All right, next bet, Athletics run line only if Ky Bush starts. So this is one that I will wait until we get a confirmed pitcher. But if we see Ky Bush, I'm hammering the run line at plus money for the A's. Then our final straight bet is going to be Houston and Texas over 8 at minus 118. Like I said, the last 7 of 10 games have gone over that number. So I will take that line. All right, parlays. This is the first one's kind of weird, so stay with me here. We're doing the Arizona Cleveland over 8. So it's a slight alt line. You could do the 9 if you wanted more juice. We're going to go White Sox in Oakland over 7. That's also an alt line. Then we're going to take the Washington team total. They have to score 2 runs for the whole game. Like I said, Logan Webb is giving up runs away, so I don't think they will struggle to hit that number. That would be really bad if they did. And then we're going to take Minnesota Twins first 5. So we are going to isolate Kyle Hendricks versus David Festa. I think Festa has a pretty decent day today. Combine all those plus 506. Next one we're going to do is a first 5 bet with the Diamondbacks. So again, we're isolating Gallant and Logan Allen. And then we're going to do the Twins, and then we're going to take the Giants. So isolating Webb and Patrick Corbin. Pair those 3 together plus 343. I like that one a lot. And then we'll do a little small one with Kansas City and Houston money line at plus 203. Fun parlay today. I actually like this one. Could we go back-to-back fun parlay hits? Maybe. We're going to go Diamondbacks. We're going to take Giants minus 1. We're going to go Twins, Phillies, and Reds. Pair those together, it's plus 1,734. And then our upset parlay today is going to be Cardinals. So we're banking on the Cardinals to beat the Mets. We're going to bank on Cleveland to beat the Diamondbacks. That's a little sketchy. If you wanted to sub that one out, I would maybe throw Texas in there. You know what? We're gonna change on the fly again. I think I meant to actually make it Texas and I forgot. So we're going to go Texas there instead of Cleveland. I just can't trust Logan Allen. I have like zero faith in Logan Allen. And I will tell you the line for St. Louis is starting to trend up. This was plus 100. It is now a minus 105 as I'm kind of doing this live. And then we got Boston. So pair those together is plus 774. So we lose a little bit of juice taking out Cleveland. But I think Texas has a better chance to beat Houston. So that's what we're going with today. Props I like. There was actually, I only intended on doing like 3 or 4 props, but as I kept looking at them, there were a lot I liked. Palante over 3.5 Ks. They keep giving us this line, and I keep hammering it, and he hits every time. So last time it was 4.5 Ks. So I like him at 3.5. I think that's a good spot there. Logan Allen under 3.5 Ks. This guy is not a prolific strikeout guy, and the Diamondbacks are hitting the baseball. So I don't even know if this guy makes it through like 3 innings. I like that one. I like Allen over 2.5 earned runs. I like him over 1.5 based on balls. This guy walks 2+ like it's his job. Like that's the only mission in the game is to walk 2+ people. So I'm surprised this is minus 155. Kind of tells me they're expecting the D-backs to be aggressive with the sticks because, like I said, not many games this guy goes under 2 walks. All right, Munoz under 2.5 based on balls. That's a little bit high. I was expecting this to be 1.5. So Reds are aggressive with the sticks. They do swing a lot. So I like this one. Patrick Corbin over 4.5 Ks. We talked about this. Like I said, I got this at plus 115 last night. James Paxton over 3.5 Ks. That's a super low line. Really low, which kind of aids me to think the Royals are going to win because if he doesn't hit this, this means he got absolutely tagged up. So I like that. Kyle Hendricks over 1.5 earned runs. That's almost a very disrespectful line going against a Twins team that is just banging right-handed pitchers. I would be shocked if the Twins can't hit this. I thought this would be 2.5, to be honest. And then we're going to go Glasnow over 1.5 earned runs at -170. Like I said, he's over this line in his last 5 games. I think the Philly offense gets to him. Just takes a bloop and a blast for the Phillies. Nerfies I like Mets Cardinals -125, and then Phillies Dodgers at -145. A little scary taking this Nerfie. Both teams are very, very good at scoring in the first inning. So if you wanted to get rid of that one, understand that if you want to just play the Mets and the Cardinals. But those are my plays today. I appreciate everybody who watches the video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, put them in there. What's your favorite game today? Who do you think is going to be the big upset? I did put out some plays last night on Twitter, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitter or X, whatever. The link is down in the description. I will start going through and probably giving out 1 or 2 plays each night on Twitter once we see the card for the next day. So thank you, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't. Catch you next video.